Hello. I hope you got a chance to sleep in today. That's the beautiful thing about snow days. The not so beautiful thing about them is that it really makes it difficult to teach a lesson when you're home and I'm home and we have things to cover, especially when class only meets once a week and when we have a major project coming up. So instead of class, I'll give you all the information I can on this or perhaps two videos. As you can see from our agenda, the first thing today was going to be our List 18. So what we're going to do is we're just going to postpone it. We will have List 18 next Wednesday, and we will not do 19. We will just skip 19 until 2 weeks from today, and next week will be the List 18 stuff. For those of you who missed last week, and there were two of you, study up on List 17 as well. You will have to do that. Okay, next on the agenda, we were going to read Macbeth Act 5. I will publish who I have picked to do what roles and when for that. We will all have a part, and it's a very uplifting act, and it includes one of the most famous scenes in literature, Lady Macbeth's sleepwalking scene. And the sword fight between Macduff and Macbeth is pretty cool too, even though a lot of it takes place off stage. They get started on stage. So it'd be really neat if we could act that out, but it's hard to hold a book and a sword at the same time and move. So we'll just do it Reader's Theater style as we've been doing. Just be prepared. Now there are two things that's going to come after we finish reading the text of Macbeth, and you've got all the questions and we've done the discussion. And I have told you before about the Macbeth test. It will be a take-home. But before the test, we're going to do an essay, a literary critique essay. And I will have more information for you on that next Wednesday. But I can tell you it will be about a theme. So you're either going to discuss Macbeth and ambition, or Macbeth and kingship, or one of the other themes that are all in the packet that you received. But it is a very formal essay, classic, and we'll talk about it next week. Next up, the family history night. What we were going to do in class today was we were going to practice how not to do a speech. I wanted to see what embarrassing or incorrect things you could think of to demonstrate, like turning your back on the camera or to the audience while you read the screen. That's a no-no. Dressing appropriately. Don't show up with a shirt with writing on it or wearing a hoodie or pajamas. Those are no-nos. However, since we're not in class and we don't get to have this fun time of demonstrating the wrong way to do things, I have two videos that I have posted on the Moodle, and they are in topic 3, Death by PowerPoint, and Death by PowerPoint tips for doing it right. This one has everything that can go wrong, and this one is pretty much how to correct those wrong things. They're by different people, they're both short, and I want you to watch both of them before Monday night, before you're even done compiling your Prezi or PowerPoint, or I forget what the name of it is for Mac, but Keynote. So watch those, please. I want to reiterate that you do not have to cite your sources under the object that should be cited, like a picture or a definition or something like that. Not in the presentation. You do have to have a works cited page at the end, and I would also like a printed off copy of that sent to me. I'm not going to take points off for MLA on your physical presentation. I will on the paper. That's when MLA is essential. But doing the presentation first, I'll be able to see what your sources are, and I will look at your table of your works cited page, and I will know how to correct it so you don't get anything wrong. Okay, let's go back to this. Today in class we were going to draw lottery style for the order of presentation. I think what we're going to have to do is either you will allow me to pull your names out of the hat and tell you what the order will be ahead of time, or when we get there, you will pull names out of the hat for order. And I don't know which one is best. Why don't you let me know your opinion? I will say that I have to know by Sunday. So let me know by Sunday whether you want me to draw the order so you know ahead of time, or whether you want to draw the order of presentation on the night of the performance. Some of you may actually need to come and go pretty quickly or come late. So I need to know this. I want you to text me or email me your opinion on this. When I put up the homework list, I will try to remember to put this down, that I want to hear from you by Sunday at the latest on whether you want to draw the order of speaking on Monday night or whether you want me to draw it for you. Okay, length of your talk. Although this is specified on the presentation rubric, which I should remind you is right here and has been all along, and you got a copy of this the first day. What was I going to say about it? I guess I don't have the time, the length for the Family History Project on here, but it is a minimum of 5 minutes, a maximum of 10, and you can go a couple of minutes over if you have a really complex family history. I'm not going to quabble with 11 or 12 or even 13 minutes. If it goes over 15, you have not done a good enough job editing, and that's going to cost you points. So don't think just making it as long as humanly possible is what I want. It is not. By the way, looking at this, you might see that for the best it is speaker dressed for the event in costume or appropriate business or interview dress attire. Okay, and just look this over, bear it in mind. Okie dokie. The last thing was the dress, which is what I'm talking about now. I think I mentioned to you, I've had a couple of guys show up in their grandfather's service uniforms. That is really cool. It's not required at all. It's just really cool. If the uniform is not a tremendously important part of your talk, you shouldn't do it. You should do something that is in the nature of the people. If your grandmother, for example, has any clothes that she has saved from the era in which she was young, that would be cool to wear. If she doesn't, I do. If you let me know, I can bring something, but you have to tell me what era and whether or not you want me to bring something. All right, that's just because I love costumes. Regular dress, like for Sunday or for sports day at school, for the team day when you dress up, that's what I'm looking for presentation. Okay, enough of this. And that's all I need to say about that. Grammar. Oh, yes, grammar. What are we going to do about that? I have to ignore the phone. I'm going to stop here. I just love getting calls in the middle of something. Okay, I see that by my time that I am almost done, so I'm going to stop now and make a second one about the grammar that I want you to do for homework. Talk to you in a little bit.